Show us here for our December 3rd, 2025 charter review meeting. We will go ahead with our roll call at this time, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Hill,
Here.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Dolan,
Present.
Ms. Jackson,
Present.
Ms. Kitchens.
Here.
Mr. Norwood,
Here.
Miss Flanders, Tiffany Parker Flanders.
Yeah.
Is
she here?
Yep, she's here. Ms. Young,
Here.
Mr. Schuler,
Here.
Ms. Wise,
Present.
Ms. Ellington.
Here.
Annie had sent me a message saying that she was not going to be able to make it.
For the record, we got a forum. Move on. Everyone had an opportunity to review minutes under items 2A and B.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In the language for 61, this is for the October 29th minutes. First paragraph, last sentence, the committee shall appoint chair, vice chair, or sorry, sentence after that. To be eligible for the committee, you must be a qualified elector, comma, a Putnam County resident, comma, a city of Palatka business owner. That sentence should probably be reworked. It's missing at least an or.
Where are
But
you at?
also,
Tom, where are you at?
Oh,
It's 60.
that probably should be deleted. I think that probably pulled that off of the description.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up
Yeah,
today,
yes, it was what Margaret said, but it shouldn't be,
Why shouldn't it be?
well,
I heard what he said about the or part, but why shouldn't this be period if we have the or? If I might ask.
well, it's out of context completely.
It describes who the committee members must be that commissioners appoint, but I don't understand how it's out of context. I'm sorry, maybe I'm dense. The chocolate candy went to my head, sorry.
it almost seems like that sentence is more about the announcement to be on the committee, because it's saying to be eligible for the committee, you must be a qualified elector. The rest of this document does not speak to individuals. It speaks to the city as a whole.
So you want me to take that completely out?
I don't know, I know it doesn't read right.
So, excuse me, so you said it's not rewrite, or are you talking about this, a lack of business owner? That you have to be that was my thing, I was wondering, why do you have to be a business owner?
Or,
Or
have to be.
Or, yeah, that's what I.
That's why
wanted
we
to
need
make
to change
sure. Yeah, or should be.
But also, like, to be eligible for the committee, you must be, like, nowhere else in the document do we say you to any of the citizenry. It's a very odd sentence to me for the entirety of the document.
Right. So
Then I
it
have
should be a member or
to be,
a member or an individual must be a resident of, qualified elector of the city of Palatka or.
Candidates.
Oh, right,
Candidates.
right.
oh, we're not candidates,
Yes, saying that way. Candidates for the committee would be.
but candidate in person running for public office, and we are appointed people. I mean, we're appointed by the commission.
Or appointee,
Appointee, I go along.
any of those.
So it should be, so you want me to be eligible for the committee must be, I gotta take out you.
Why don't you say the qualifications should be enlisted?
I like that.
No, because if you list it the way it's listed now, it makes you seem like you gotta have.
All of those.
Gotta be all the
Or
right.
anyone eligible to be,
These are or.
anyone eligible to be appointed to the committee must be
A public health.
a qualified elector or Putnam County resident or business owner.
Could we say
Or.
to be eligible for the committee, you must be either or and then list them? And that would be either or for any of these, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that cover all of them? Either or, if you put it before the list? Question,
It does either or.
Eligibility limited to the following.
Yeah,
okay,
Right, limited.
right off 6 down.
I like what Tom just said.
Following.
Like someone and half a dozen, and that's just the minutes, not the actual verbiage.
Mhm.
If you'll make that a motion, I'll second it, Tom.
And then, well, I've got a second question about the next paragraph on the vote. Where the city commission shall appoint city attorney who shall serve at the pleasure of the commission. The only reason that comes up is because in the last week I've heard that term more than anything, and it generally refers to the president, not to local elected officials. And shouldn't the city attorney have the same opportunity as the city manager to have a contract?
I don't think one dictates the other.
No, okay, just the reading of it.
I thought we discussed that.
Yeah, because I have notes that Tiffany.
We did, we're putting the city, hopefully, we're putting the city attorney under the commission.
Right.
And she will serve the pleasure of the commission as the city manager.
This is the condensed version
Yeah.
of all of that. This is the summation.
Oh, okay.
So this isn't the actual language. This is just a summation of what the conversation was. So the crux is how. Okay, no, you're fine. So the minutes is just trying to give a summation, but it needs to be clear. But there. Any other additions? Comments, corrections?
Do we need to make a motion to
No,
change the last sentence?
We won't if you let me do this for 1 second.
Sorry about that.
Are you okay with those amendments?
I'm okay with the amendment, but the motion was never second, so it's for the, I grab a motion.
Okay, so is that your motion?
Good, yes.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor, including the amendments that came from Mr. Dolan. There's a second by Ms. Wise. Is there any further discussion on the motion?
Question?
We got you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Simple way to do it. Moving on, the public comment. There's no public, so there's no comment. We'll open the room for public comment. Anyone here for public comments? Your conversation will be limited to 1 minute.
Chocolate candy to put everyone else in a good festive Christmas mood, pass it around.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I should.
I'm
I'm not having any more of my meeting. I'm asking no.
Can you fill your card out and give it to the clerks over there? The other clerk, and leave your name the next time. Make sure your mic's on.
Hot theater.
Well, we thank you. It's always the small people that want
What?
it.
Oh, that kind, what you mean? Oh, what you had.
No, it wasn't for hype this time.
Not the one back around.
Wait.
All right, seeing no one here for public comment, we'll close public comment and they'll keep the candy bar open. Moving on to our regular business, this is the fun part. I get to turn this all over to Ms. West. So,
Okay, we're almost there. What you have before you is basically every single section that we have reviewed over the last 2 years with all of your changes. Obviously, the sections that we didn't change, I didn't include, because what is going to happen with this document is it is going to morph into this document, which is the proposed ballot. I pulled this off of, actually, Charles Overton provided this to me earlier this week. This is that Mount Dora just went through, recently. This is what their ballot language looks like. So I'm going to have to take this. If you approve of everything tonight, we can place this on the January City Commission agenda. You'll have to report, and Mr. Hill did a fine job. I don't know if you guys saw him at the last meeting. We're basically, giving a 30,000 foot view of everything that we worked on and kind of characterizing the good naturedness of this committee, very eloquently. But this will all be distilled, and as you can see, we're not going to have the strike throughs and the underlines. Has to be pretty concise in order for people to vote on it in a yes or no manner. The way we've gone about this is much different from Palatka. Take notes from train wrecks, right? So what they did is they had proposed all of their changes to the entire charter in one ballot question of yes or no, and it failed. So all of that work that their committee members have done over the course of years just went out the window. So they're gonna try again round 2, and break it down in the way that we have, as you recall, Mr. Overturf suggested that we do it this way. Sorry, I'm still having issues with my voice. Anyway, what I need you to do is go through each one to make sure that not only do we have the title and the ballot question properly phrased, because I just came up with that on my own. The purpose, is that properly phrased? And then the proposed language you've already voted on. But this is your last chance. Some of these you voted on twice. This is your last chance to make any, right, 3 times. So if you've got any more changes, this is kind of where it comes down to. You do have a couple more months of buffer time. If we don't get everything resolved tonight, that's okay. Don't feel pressure to do this. We want to make sure we do it right. And we do have 7 more months. Remember, our deadline's April 14th. So how about it? Start with, I'll hand it back to you, Chair, starting with part 1.
I guess first question. Has everyone had ample time to review this to make sure that
No.
you're on point?
My email dropped off.
So you,
But I'm a fast reader, as you all go through, I can read a paragraph ahead of you, so.
anybody else?
I didn't barely go through it, any reason I didn't go
I didn't
through
hear
it, I didn't get it to yesterday.
Right,
And mine disappeared, the whole email disappeared. And I have a question.
and only because, and I'm asking that question only because this is important. And as opposed to sitting in this meeting and rushing through this today without everyone truly having an opportunity to do it, I'd rather for you to take a couple weeks and read it so that when we come in here, we can knock it out quickly. Because if it's sections that nobody has a comment on, then we just vote for those and we keep rolling. And then we have the document done in time for us to do what we need to do in January, and we're good. So by the second, if we're targeting the second meeting in January, we can get where we need to be, have the stuff in place in enough time for the commission to at least peruse it. So that, and then they got
Plans to have.
months to go ahead and go through it, have conversations, workshop, or whatever they're gonna do. What I don't wanna do is for us to drag out. And then they only have a short period of time to go over it and to introduce it to the public before they hit the deadline for ballot. Right, and that was kind of the conversation that came up at the commission meeting, making sure that when we turn this over, there's enough time for them to do whatever it is they gotta do without, without any issue of whether there was, enough ability for them to have public meetings or whatever it is they choose to do at that point before accepting. And then we can continually push towards making sure that, hey, we've turned this over to you. We want to know what the next steps are, where we are, if we're on target to get this on the ballot to move forward, because it's been a lot of work on this end and a lot of sacrifice. And so, that's just my thought. I want to hear from the committee as a whole, starting with you, Ms. Kitchen.
Well, I apologize, and I certainly don't want to inconvenience the committee. I did not see this. When Karen sent me the packet, it had the packet attached to it. I had a meeting to go to, I left, I came back, and then a couple of days later, I went back to it to pull it up, and when I went back to it, I thought it was the same email from Karen, but it said, thank you, and to everybody. I had not responded to anything, and the whole thing with the agenda and the packet had dropped off my computer, totally. I can't find it anywhere. I'm having trouble with my AT&T internet. So I apologize, I have not seen this prior.
Does the record reflect city manager here? And so, anybody else? Sorry, to my right. Any other comments? Ms. Jackson?
Having more ample time, I think would, definitely, allow us to be more efficient with the process, so.
Sullivan?
No, I agree with them too. I couldn't see mine either, the little phone, and I couldn't read it on the phone.
Got your iPad. Ms. Ryan? Ms. Wise?
Chair, I did get an opportunity to review it, but I will go with the pleasure of the committee. I am not in a hurry to do anything, but yes, I did go through it.
She's retired.
I-
Ms. Landers, I'm sorry, Ms. Parker Landers.
I also went through some of it. I can go either direction, whatever needs to, whatever the rest of the people need.
No further than that, pleasure of the committee. I'll go.
I will add this for context. One of the things that we will need to do is alert our PIO officer, our public information officer, because this will need community outreach. Much like the campaign, quite frankly, because if voters see the Mount Dora ballot, they're probably going to freak out a little bit, and you know, people might have a tendency to stick with the status quo and just vote no on everything, which again would you know, waste all of your time putting into this. So we do need some time for public outreach, but it should be totally sufficient between April and November.
So if
I'll go here and then come back.
you're going to give everybody a chance to actually go over this and to make whatever changes, correct whatever things that we think that needs to be corrected, it needs to be done timely. And the reason I say timely because, like you said earlier, we're trying to make sure that nobody's rushed. But I think when saying that, that means that we need to set up a timetable for us to actually read it, get back, and let's continue the process.
My suggestion is gonna be that we do it within the next 2 weeks. Try to get it before the holiday if we do it. Which.
That's that, it's already started.
This way, it can just
Happy
go to
holiday.
the commission in January. At the same time, if we get it done in 2 weeks, we can still get it to the commission in January.
But what I, so
But it's up to you.
So that's why we were having the meeting today.
But hold on a second, when's the second meeting in January
That is gonna be
for the commission?
for the commission. The second meeting is, the 22nd of January.
So if we, what's the,
The first one is January 8th.
yeah, so if we, so what if we, what about January 6th coming back?
Such a great day.
It's your birthday?
What is January
What's
6th?
that?
January 6th is gonna be the planning and zoning meeting.
I don't know what happened January 6th anywhere else, and I'm not climbing walls. So
What about
That's the
January the
planning and
7th?
zoning meeting.
What about January the 7th, which is a Wednesday? There's no city meetings, or January the 21st? That's the Wednesday before the city commission.
But if you wait to January 21st, we're not
We're
gonna
not
get it
gonna approve all
on the
the
meeting.
agenda.
The agenda
Yeah.
has to be done a week beforehand.
What
So I'm
about
trying
January
to-
the 7th? That's the Wednesday before.
That's fine. January 7th, we have
Because
nothing.
there's no meetings, no city meetings on the 7th on Wednesday.
So are we, so the chair, are we looking to make another meeting like next week in December? Because the closer we get,
We're gonna be aiming for January 7th, I believe is what the question is on the table.
So the question is, do we want to meet beginning of January or try to meet before Christmas? Those are the really important.
Yeah. those-
And so, Mr. Dolan already said, holidays already started. for him.
I agree with him. A lot of people are
I ain't mad.
gonna be out of town.
through the chair, anything before the 16th, I mean, after the 16th, I am not available.
All right, what about in January?
I'm good for January.
Let's go to the 7th.
January works for everybody?
Not right.
No, January 6th won't work for you?
January
Seventh.
7th, not the 6th.
Which one of those days works?
Probably not the whole first week.
Not the whole first week?
So do we need, until January? I mean, can everybody?
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
We
we
need to
need
be
that
back here
amount of
before
time.
then to do what we need to do.
Is there any chance to review the document and any ones that there's no questions on, we can pass those and come back to anyone that has an issue? And
When-
can anybody attend the next meeting by Zoom?
We can get you in
Yeah,
by
we get you in
Zoom.
my Zoom.
We can get you in by Zoom without a problem. I can send you a link.
You're gonna have internet?
If that's gonna,
It's gonna be available, just trying to make sure.
New Jersey's pretty, well, interneted.
Just no trash, man.
I'll be in Jersey too.
Y'all can join together.
So if you're the only one that's going to be gone, right, am I assuming?
January.
We're talking about January now.
Yes.
But
He's can do about, he can do
Right.
hear about Zoom,
Okay,
whether it be December or January, it makes no difference, does it?
no,
Okay, so if you guys are gonna do in December, we have to have a quorum done before anybody can vote online. If you can't vote, am I saying that correctly, Tony? They have to have
There's supposed to be a physical quorum.
physical quorum has to be present.
Anybody?
Right.
So,
I can, like I said, I can make any meeting in December prior to,
Okay.
for the 16th, before the 16th.
What do we have next Tuesday? Anybody go for next Tuesday?
Is it the night?
It's the holiday
Yeah.
season for me.
the 9th or the 10th,
It's not good.
So let's go
The ninth
January,
is-
Let's go with January.
January 6th.
They planning commission.
we have to do. the-
January happens to January. January 6th works well for Terrell.
January 7th goes too.
January the 7th is
I
better
think she
because the
said-
board meeting on the 6th.
The 6th wasn't good.
The 6th is a planning board meeting,
Planning board is in the 6th.
January 7th works for everybody?
I'm good.
7th.
January 7th.
What about you?
Every day's good.
January 7th works for
Everybody's
you,
okay.
Brian?
Yeah, so Wednesday. And
January
we'll come in
Man,
4
I'm
o'clock.
ready to put it in, I'm good.
January 7th.
What time?
I will need, before we do it, let's do it in the form of a motion to table until such time as January 7th.
I move that we table this meeting until such time as January the 7th at 4 p.m.
I'll second.
So one thing to ponder as we review this, do you mind if I share this email from Charles Overturn? Well, it's a little self-congratulatory, but Jane, I think you've done a great job. I do have some questions about the last several paragraphs. Sorry, ordinance recall. So the very last one, remember how we spent a lot of time on that one and it was also the longest? I would like to talk to you with you to see where all that section came from. Maybe the committee wanted it all to be included, but I think some of that can be taken out and simply say Florida statutes will be followed. Just my thoughts while reading it. I just got that yesterday afternoon, so I haven't had time to look at the Florida statutes to see what it said, but we actually did tweak the model language the citizen referendum process pretty significantly. So I think we did a very thorough job on that, but I wanted to share his sentiments.
See if he has some suggested language that you can send out by email to the body as a whole.
Well, his suggestion was to delete the whole thing and just rely on Florida statutes for citizen initiative referendums. But we use language like qualified electors instead of registered voters.
Could we ask her to have that conversation with him and to understand what his dilemma is with that paragraph and then.
Then communicate it out to the mass, so it's all in one email.
Right.
Why can't we, what James Norwood said, but why can't we go ahead and put that on the January the 7th meeting along with the other stuff? Then she can come back and give, because she just got this information from Charles.
That it's already on there. Well, all we're doing is trying to make sure we understand what his issue is. That's all. He's saying, keep it on there, because it's on there to be approved anyway. But so we're just doing the extra step of saying, hey, what's your issue? Share that with everybody prior to the meeting. And if and then we can share the statute as well. And then when we come back to the meeting, we can vote on it.
On the 7th.
Because we spent a lot of detail on that. I agree with that. We did a lot of things.
We come back, we
Right,
all,
on the 7th.
okay, I'm good with that,
On the
I'm good with
7th.
that. Need
And-
clarification, thank you.
And what we'll do is, when we come back to Mr. Dolan's point, I'll run through the list that we have, and I'll be saying, does anybody have an issue or concern with any language that we have for section 1? First section, we'll go through that way, and then we'll roll.
So not only on the proposed language, but also on specifically on the title and ballot question and the purpose. And we need you guys to look at all of those.
So that'll be our direction as we move forward, and then in that email, just send that also, so everybody will have it in a communication form as to what the charge is for the next meeting. Mr. Dolan, didn't you?
Yes, on the summary with the new language, we have, Article 5, 59, 60, 61. It does not match up with the previous agenda items. 59 was the city attorney, 60 was city clerk, 61 was for our review committee. It looks like city clerk is missing, unless we deleted that altogether.
Because you did not vote to pass that.
Pulled it up.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Pulled it
okay.
out. Pulled it out. Remember we.
The same.
Because the line was.
The same.
Okay.
So I voted, the numbers all moved up because of that.
Thank you.
I have a very, very important question for Jane. I noticed that all this ballot says Mount Dora ballot so-and-so. I assumed, and I know what assuming does, they should say Palatka ballot, because if this goes to the Palatka ballots, the Palatka voters, or even if it went to Palatka County, Palatka, they gonna see that. That's the end of it. They're not gonna vote on something that has another city. So when this goes to the Palatka ballots,
This is.
I know that, but what, I know that, but what,
That's for your.
but what thought I heard you say was, you mentioned about if the voters saw this, they would be upset. You talked to the public information officer, so I need clarification on that statement that you made. Will the ballot say Palatka, or will it say Mount Dora when it goes to the
Of
voters?
course it's then Palatka.
Thank you.
That was so that you would know what it would, that's a sample of what it looks like and what cities have done.
I understood that, but you made a reference about this, the public information,
Yeah.
officer. And it sounded like you were saying that it would go, it would show as Mount Dora, so I was concerned about that.
New language ballot, Palatka.
It will say Palatka.
Okay.
It will all be your changes.
And when
to
it,
the Palatka.
okay, when this gets, okay.
I just wanted you to see visually what the ballot is going to be.
Okay, and I'm fine with that. I just want to make sure that when that ballot came out, yeah, okay.
We'll take it. Any other questions or concerns? No, we need our motion to table.
Yes.
Until January sixth.
I thought I already
We
made-
had a second.
Made a motion, second, we had discussion,
Seven.
January 7th. I keep saying the sixth. It's your fault. Motion made and properly second, right? Discussion is closing. Any other discussion before we vote? Yes, ma'am.
I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Christmas, and a
You're out
Safe
of
Christmas.
order.
So
Thank you.
it's early, but
Listen, we take you being happy. We'll take-
I'm always happy. I just don't look at all.
Just don't show it. So listen,
No more.
there's some more candy, just.
No more candy.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimously. Again, thank you, counselor, for putting in the work on this. But I want to make sure that we understand that we are at the end of this, but we have to be very deliberate. The questions that came from the commission as it related to the timeline, I want to make sure that we give them the most time that we can give them so that they can make decisions based upon the stuff that we have. And if there are any questions that they have as it relates to where we are, that we're there. The other thing that we got to be prepared for is if we have workshops. I think it will be necessary for us to be in attendance at the workshop in case there are questions that are asked, so that they can understand what the thought was of the committee as a whole moving forward. And I think that has to be shared by more than me or more than council as representatives. It has to be, I think it's a good showing to have people from this committee at workshops, at those public hearings, in case someone wants to hear the perspectives, from multiple people. And I think that's gonna be a critical piece. There's been a lot of work that's been put in here. We've spent more time talking about qualified electors, I think, than anybody has in the state of Florida. But we have been very detailed in what we put in place, and I think this is coming to the last steps, and we're in a really good spot. And I think that, from where we started out, over a year and a half ago, it seems like, to where we are now. I think we've done something that's gonna have great benefit if it's adopted by the voters for this city. And I think there are a lot of things that we've done that will give people food for thought as Palatka starts to move forward. So I really appreciate the efforts that everybody's made in this room to be at this point. We just gotta now take it across the finish line. Any other questions, comments before we leave? So next meeting, January 7th.
Thank you.
Everybody good? We're adjourned.
I'm not sending out any invites.
I will do that tomorrow.
Please let that